What is up, everyone? I'm Tony Eater. Like, what? 2 minutes ago, this idea dawned on me. And I'm like, what the hell? Let's go for it. Peter's Culinary, right? That's what I'm gonna be going by from now on, Peter. Because I was thinking, right? When the PS4 comes out, I don't even know when that's coming. It's in a while. Who knows if we'll still be on YouTube. Hopefully we will be. But that's not the point. The point is that Tony Eater is a shared name between me and my brother. We both use that PSN, because his name's Tony, my name's Peter, combined Tony Eater. And yeah, that's cool, but that's what I'm going by here. But it's not exactly my identity. Like, I don't know, that's such a weird word to use, but that's basically it. It's it doesn't exactly, it's not exactly only me. So it'd be cool if I could just come up with some other name. So for now, I'm just going by Peter. And series titled Peter's Corner. My friends probably might remember this. I don't know. When we were little, we used to joke around, and I'd like say random jokes and stuff, and we'd call it Peter's Corner or something like that. Yeah, or maybe the Peter Show. And yeah, we'd just be fucking around because we were like 8 and awesome. So that's what I'm calling it. A little shout out to memories. But yeah, basically, what this idea, why I thought of this is, I make so many random commentaries, and a lot of times I'll feel like I have to be talking about something that has meaning or whatever. And other times I'll just end up talking, and it'll be a fun commentary anyways. And I felt like I wanted to like decipher between those. So my Peter's Corner series, right? That's whenever I just feel like doing a commentary. I don't have anything in particular to talk about. Although I'll try to have some sort of topic, but it's not going to be like, oh, settle the feud. It's not going to be about, something in particular, like channel updates. It is just going to be me speaking my mind on whatever I feel like talking about. And then if there's ever a non-Peter's Corner video that I'm commentating on, it's something really legit. It's something like update, I grew a second foot. Okay, now, but you get the picture. So let me just get right into this, give you a little whiff of what Peter's Corner might be about, because this is actually something that happened today, throughout the day actually, after going to school and whatnot. Basically the idea of this is like unspoken social interactions, and I have 3 examples, and it's a tough thing to describe, but basically it's like 2 strangers, right? They're not going to speak to each other, they're not going to say excuse me or could you not, but it's just stuff that you expect other people to do when interacting in various places that you'll meet. So basically this is, I don't know, centered around school. No, not really. I don't know, first one, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with something like this. When you're walking and you're in a hallway or something, or you're near a classroom, and there's a certain distance between you and the person in front of you, and they open a door, and if it's expected for them to hold it open and for you to keep walking, and what speed do you walk at, or do they just let it close, and what distance is the appropriate distance where they should hold it or where they should not hold it. And it's a tough call. It takes a good amount of practice to be able to know there's someone behind you and understand their speed, because I think it gets to the point where they're too far, right? But it's not nice, because people might think they're being nice by holding a door open, but you're really not being nice. Because say you're a good 50 feet away, you hold the door open, you turn around, you're like, alright, I'm holding it for you. And is that person, like, what? Do you expect them to run? Or, because now you're putting them in an uncomfortable position. And that's what happened to me. I'm just walking, I like to take my time and stuff, because it's the morning. And this teacher, who's far ahead of me in this particular hallway, opens the door, and she turns around, she sees me, she's like, oh, hey. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So at first I'm walking at a slow speed, and she gives me like this look, like I'm holding the door for you, are you gonna come or not? And then it's just like a really bad situation. So I think when in doubt, just let the door close. If they're really that close behind you, keep like, maybe tap it open, but don't hold it. I really don't think there's ever a time that you have to hold it, only if you feel like being nice. But if you're unsure of the distance, just let it fly close, that's my opinion. Moving on from that, second unspoken scenario is, this is an interesting one. I'm not sure if a lot of people realize this, but I have noticed this in classrooms. Again, when there's desks, right? Now the desks in this particular classroom are somewhat small. The desk space is small, the distance between the one in front of you and the one behind you, it's kind of close, right? So there's a lot of bodies packed in together. And for the sake of this example, for the sake of what happened, there's more positions in this, but I'll basically say that the 2 main positions you could sit in a desk is with your body forward and, like, I guess your stomach or your chest up against the desk, and your arms there and stuff, or you could be leaning back in the desk and your back is against the chair. that's there, because there's a chair behind. You know how desks work. This is like one of those attacked ones. So anyways, and the way it sets up is that you can't lean forward if the person in front of you is sitting back, because then you're too close. And likewise, you can't lean back if the person behind you is sitting forward, because then you're too close. And the two people in front of me, behind me, set me in a really bad situation where the person in front of me is leaning back, so I can't go up and sit close and lean on the desk, and the person behind me is leaning on their desk, so I can't sit back. So they're putting me in a place that I don't know how I'm supposed to go about getting comfortable in my seat. And I think orderly conduct, how this should be settled, is that the person like in the front gets the final say. So say the person in the front is leaning back, I lean back, and the person behind me leans back. That should be how it goes. The person in the front has the gets the first call. So I'm not gonna go and I'm not gonna lean forward and be like, alright, hey, you gotta lean forward now because I'm leaning forward and we can't be this close to each other. Because that's my rule. The person in the front says it all. So then my option is to lean back and expect the person behind me to lean back. But the person who's sitting behind me happens to be one of the most smelly, sweaty, loud, fat human beings you could imagine. Like, imagine your typical high school, fucked up kid who you really do not want to be close to at all. And the girl in front of me is like, she's a senior, so I kind of want to respect that, but at the same time she's also the front seat, so that's even more important. I want to respect that. So I have no clue what I'm supposed to go about this. So if you see something like this, try and, sort it out. Try and do your best to make sure that everything is going according to this unspoken plan between humans. And the final example I have is walking, right? This is similar to the door example, but it's a different taste of it, different spin on it, I guess. I'm walking home, and the way walking works is everyone has their own speed, right? And the point is you don't expect someone to change their speed. You don't go and force someone to change their walking speed. If you're walking faster than someone who's behind you, then you're allowed to pass, Then the person in front is allowed to pass, and they speed up, and they walk, and they go ahead. The person from behind that has a faster pace, and that's simple. That's how it works, and that's not bad. The problem was, I'm walking at my own speed, right? The person behind me, they're walking at their own speed, and they're going fast and stuff. They catch up to me, and I'm like, all right, I'll set up for the walk by. I'll move to the side so they can walk by, and then it's like they slow down out of nowhere, and their speed, it's like weird. Now they're like practically next to me. They're not exactly next to me, but they're like close enough that if I move my arms, like, circles or whatever, I can touch them. And that's uncomfortable. That's not where you should be walking with someone unless you're like friends and you're talking. So I'm here and I'm like, alright, what's this person gonna do? Should I walk faster? But see, you're not supposed to expect someone else to walk faster. She'd already be having fault by making me walk faster just so we're not at this uncomfortable distance. So do I walk faster, or is she gonna speed up and go ahead, or do I walk slower? So I decide, alright, you know what? I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I'll change my speed. I'll walk a little bit slower so she can pull ahead, and then I'll figure out my own pace. And so I slow down a little bit, then she slows down a little bit. It's as if she was afraid to do the pass. So instead she just decided, alright, I'll just stay at this point where I'm right behind this kid. I don't even know what her problem was, but it was really uncomfortable, and it was like a really long distance. There wasn't a point where she turned and then went her way and I went my way. It was like she was going there for a really long time, and I'm like, man, what do I do? And she really blocked because she was to the, I was on the right side of the, right side of the road, and she was to the left of me. So if I wanted to cross the street, I'd have to kind of pass her, and it would be like a cutting her off type thing. So if you're ever walking like that, you know the rule, you can pass the person. You just don't want to make the person, you don't want to get that close to a person when you're walking, first of all. But you also don't want to make the person change their walking speed, because that is unfair. Alright, got that out of my system. Hopefully I've educated you guys, and now you know how to go about the rest of your lives, satisfying a person like me in such situations.